Okay. So I met Marty because Marty had sent in a Discover Bible lesson, and she's so awesome. We've been having Bible lessons now for about since I guess August, so it's been a couple of months. And she is so cool, and we've been having Bible studies on Thursday at 1 o'clock. Well, I live on this side of the river, and she lives pretty much exactly on the other side of the river, so to get there I have to go through Woodland and go. It's no big deal. But it means I go to Woodland every week. So I go to town, and I might stop in at one of the stores since I'm in town. I have to go through town. Well, a few weeks ago, I went to Marty's and had our Bible study, and it was so fun. She is just awesome. And then on the way home, I wanted to go over to Walmart, and so I did. And I have one of these things because I have some struggles at times, and so you put this in your window, and then you can park in those kind of special places. And I knew I had this, and so I got there, and there was lots of times these places are all full, but there was one open, and I went in, and then I got busy, and I went in the store, and I forgot to put this on the window. And I was in one that said this should be in your window if you're going to park there. I kind of thought of it about halfway when I was to the store, and I said, oh, well. And so I was in the store maybe 20 minutes. Boy, not more than 30, but 20 minutes, I'm going to guess. I just had, go get. And when I came out, this thing that was laying on my console was gone. Oh, my goodness, what happened? Somebody opened my door, which I hadn't locked. And they were probably mad because I didn't put the thing in the window. And so to teach me a lesson, they stole it. All right, so far it's not cooler than your story yet, is it? Not yet, okay. That was really frustrating. How stupid. And I surely didn't, maybe it dropped down somewhere. And it was raining, but I got out and I went in the back seat and looked under the seat, and between the seats, and that thing was nowhere. It was gone out of my car, and I knew it was sitting there because I saw it, and I was going to put it up, and I didn't get it put up. Oh, for Pete's sake, how stupid. We do stupid things, and it's not that big of a deal. I've already paid the fine, or the fee. I'll go get another one. Big whoopee. And turns out in the back, in the side pocket, I had the one that had expired was still there, and I thought, well, I'll use that till I get my new one. Probably nobody will notice it expired last year. So anyway, I put that in where I could see it. And okay. So then the next Thursday, I went to my Bible study. And, oh, Marty and I, we had such a good time. Oh, it was a good time. And I felt so good. And I had to go back to Walmart. I think that Christmas or the Halloween candy was on sale, or there was a really good reason I had to go back. So I took my old one out, and I hung it on the mirror. And I knew I had. And in fact, I even thought I probably should lock the door, but I didn't. Because Gil said, you should lock the door. I didn't. Anyway. So I went in, and there was some candy on sale. And I came out 20 to 30 minutes later, and this was sitting on my console. My card that had been taken the week before from my car by I have no idea had returned it. Now I'm guessing the odds are about 1,000,000 to 1. Now, so it's not a funner story than yours. Yours is way funner, but I bet the odds are 1,000,000 to 1 that was that. What? How in the world could the guy that took this, even if it had been an employee of the company, how could he have known I was going to come back? And how would he even remember the car? And why would he even care? And it had been a whole week, and then have this in his pocket or something so that in the 20 minutes I was in the store, he'd put that in my car? I just couldn't. There was nothing that made sense about that. So when something is really miraculous, I attribute it to God, but I was having a really hard time figuring out why God cared about this. or what value this had. I was really happy to see it, but I mean, it wasn't life-threatening or anything. But how did that get back in my car? Oh, I couldn't figure it out. I told Gil, and he said, no, you left it there. You just didn't. I said, no, I left it. It didn't make sense because the odds of it happening are pretty much zero. But that thing would end up back in my car. Well, the following Thursday, which would be a couple of days ago, I went to Marty's house. We had a great study. We've been studying Daniel. And we were studying that Thursday, the story about when the king said that, I want you boys to bow down to this big, nice image I've built. It's all gold. It represents Babylon, so you're good. And furthermore, if you don't bow down, I'm going to burn you to death in the fire. Well, it's a great story. We all know that story. But the really cool part about the story was those boys didn't have to ask God if he would please protect them. Because they told the king that if I burn, I burn. If I'm saved, I'm saved. Isn't that what they said? Whatever happens, my life belongs to God. Now, it wouldn't have been that hard. Remember, your life is on the stake here. To when they blew the trumpet, tie your shoe. Get you out of, and you wouldn't have, but they didn't do that. So we're reading this story, and in my lesson that had been prepared considerably earlier than this, it said, in order to develop such a rich faith as the Hebrew boys, we need to understand what faith is. Some people have a quantitative perception of faith. They measure their faith by the answers they seem to receive from God. They go to the shopping mall, and I went, what? Remember, Marty is reading this to me after they go to the shopping mall, it says, and pray for a parking space. Well, I hadn't done that, but I get that. Okay, you go to the shopping mall and you pray for a parking spot. If they happen to get a space, upon arrival, they conclude, wow, they had such strong faith. Really? Okay. If all the slots are filled, then they might think that their faith wasn't strong enough for God. Now, I know there's people that think that. Kind of think Jesus is kind of a little bit like Santa Claus. Make sure he asks for the right stuff and be good. And she's reading this, and it says, this understanding of faith becomes dangerous because it attempts to manipulate God and does not reckon with God's sovereignty and his wisdom to know what's right for you. And I said, Marty, stop. Stop. I want to tell you a little story. And I told her the story about the two signs. And I said, when you read that, I knew why and who did it and why. God did it. Nobody else could have possibly done it anyway, so I'd already decided that, but he just wanted to say hi and thank you. He knew I would get a big kick out of it. Didn't serve any particular purpose other than to say, I got your back. Thank you for having a Bible study with Marty, and I love you. He loves you too. He wants you to step out of your comfort zone. Talk to people. We are here in this church so that we can help other people find God. And this next year, we are going to be having several events that will include helping us find people. Because I happen to know there are a lot of people that live near this church that have never set foot in here, and that's not right. There are boys and girls that get on the school bus that have never been to a Pathfinder Club. We need to go out there and find them, don't you think? I do. Thank you.